Men, here's why you should stop watching porn. By the end of this video, you'll know why porn is bad for you. And I'll ask you a question. Have you noticed how nowadays in all social media platforms, even movies, even TVs, even radios, they just be talking about sex, 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 sex. That's also like porn in a way. We hear even in songs they be talking about sex, 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 sex. What should you do to avoid being an addicted person when it comes to pornography? What is porn addiction when we start off? And porn addiction refers to a person becoming emotionally dependent on pornography to the point that it interferes with their daily life, relationship, and ability to function. Okay? So what are some of these signs of pornographic addiction that you might see? Some healthcare professions, for example, and other counselors believe that pornography in itself is not problematic. Rather, it has a potential to become so dependent on the person's viewpoint on their partners. Some indicators that pornography may be causing a problem include a person's sex life becomes less satisfying. When you become addicted to porn, you will not enjoy sex, for example, because sex, like pornography, produces the dopamine hormone. You get excited so much, and just like normal addictions, once you remove that thing that you're addicted to, you start getting withdrawal. So a person's sex life becomes less satisfying. You don't enjoy sex with your partner, you don't enjoy sex with your spouse, and that's one of the indicators that pornography may be causing a problem towards you. Another thing is pornography causes relationship issues or makes a person feel less satisfied with their partner. Okay, because maybe, for example, you see some types of women on the social media platform, on the sites, and you can compare them with your partner, and that can lead to feeling less satisfied with your partner when having sex. Another thing, a person engages in risky behavior to view pornography, such as doing so at work. You can find someone is watching porn at work, and that's one of the signs of one is being addicted. Another thing, for example, you can find someone masturbating at weird places. I remember I've ever seen a video, or there's a video that was going around that you were seeing someone masturbating after dropping a lady home. You see, such things are signs that you're becoming a porn addict, and you have to work on it and act. You have to work on it and act on it. Okay. Some other signs that a person may be developing an unhealthy relationship with porn include they ignore other responsibilities to view pornography, in that you don't complete your daily tasks, you don't do your work well because you have to watch porn, and maybe you can spend almost like a whole day watching porn. That's a red flag or an unhealthy relationship you have, with yourself. They view progressively more extreme pornography to get the same release and less extreme porn once offered. Like with this, you want to watch more and more videos. Like, for example, if maybe you are watching a 1 minute video, you find yourself watching maybe a 30 minutes video, 1 hour video, maybe a whole movie of pornographic materials. You're just watching the whole of it, or maybe even you have a stack of pornographic materials, and maybe at that time, maybe when you are starting, you're just watching 1, 2, 3 videos. Another thing, they feel frustrated or ashamed after viewing porn but continue to do so. Okay, I've heard about this whereby you start, once you watch porn, you're like, oh my god, this thing is not for me. Like, you feel like it's draining you, you feel bad about it, you feel ashamed, you feel guilt. That's your subconscious telling you that this thing is affecting you mentally, and you start feeling bad about it, but you still continue to do so because it still gives you that dopamine that your mind wants to achieve. They also want to stop using pornography but feel unable to do so. Like, now you've become hooked towards it, you can't let it go as much as you try. Once you don't watch it for a few minutes or maybe a few days, you find yourself going to that site and watching it. Another thing, they spend large sum of money on pornography, possibly at the expense of daily or family necessities. You find yourself, you want to buy pornographic materials. Maybe you want to buy magazines, you want to buy maybe movies, maybe you're downloading a lot of them, maybe you have subscribed to some channels whereby, you know, ladies do some things and all that. So once you find yourself in these situations, these are signs that, you know, you're becoming addicted to pornography, okay? And then another thing, last but not least, is that, you know, they use pornography to cope with sadness, anxiety, insomnia, or other mental health issues. Some of you guys, you know, you go through some depressive, you know, you go through some anxiety, you go through any, you know, some mental health issues, including also insomnia. You know, you find yourself, you know, trying to, you know, to release or trying to distract your mind from, you know, from the stress that you're experiencing. And with that, it will be a coping mechanism, of which that doesn't go well with you, because now you'll become hooked very easily, because it numbs a certain pain that you feel whenever you watch pornography. Instead of you dealing with that issue, you know, when you watch it, you know, you feel good, and then, you know, you forget a little bit, and then now you start getting hooked because of that dopamine experience that you experience while watching it, especially when you're sad or are experiencing any mental health issues, including anxiety. So let's look at also the causes of pornography addiction. And first and foremost, you should understand, you know, underlying mental health conditions can cause you to have a pornography addiction. A person might use pornography to escape psychological distress, like I just talked in the previous, you know, a few seconds before. You can find yourself trying to distract yourself from whatever you're going through, the emotional pain that you're going through. Remember, we have been talking about emotional pain in the first episode during this period, but you know, you find yourself trying to distract yourself from that emotional pain that you're feeling, you know, and that, you know, high that you get from watching porn, you know, makes you feel a little bit good about yourself, even if for a few seconds. Another thing, relationship problems. Yes, relationship problems can cause you to be addicted to porn, because pornography can be an outlet for sexual dissatisfaction. Maybe your partner is not satisfying you. What do? Go tune into that pornography site and start masturbating just for you to get satisfaction. And this can cause you to be addicted, because you won't be depending on your partner. So you start doing it by yourself. And once you start doing it, it will be very hard for you to stop. Another thing, unhealthy cultural norms. Ideas about how people should look and behave during sex, the type of sex that a person should enjoy, and similar norms may draw some people to pornography. Those are examples of, you know, unhealthy cultural norms that are there that might make you, you know, start being addicted to porn, you know. And you see, the thing is, these people are not real. These people use some, you know, some Viagras and all that. So whatever they do, it's not actually a real thing. They take so many cuts, they do so many videos about it. So be careful about the unhealthy cultural norms that are there outside and that can cause you to be addicted to porn. Another thing is biological causes. Certain biological factors, including changes in the brain chemistry, when a person views porn, may increase the risk of addiction. Like I told you, you get that dopamine high. I call it the dopamine high because once you want to use porn as an escape route, it will give you a rush, a dopamine high immediately, and that can really make you get addicted quickly. You know, it's the same. You know, porn addiction is not different from alcohol addiction or weed addiction. You can find yourself, you see, like the way a person who's addicted to alcohol, you know, because maybe they get that high and they feel good. It's the same thing. It's the same chemical releases that brain removes when you're watching pornography, and it can cause you to be addicted to porn. But don't be alarmed, and it's never too late. There are treatments for this, and there are treatments and natural remedies for you to deal with pornography addiction. First and foremost is psychotherapy. It's very important. This can help a person understand their relationship with porn, identify unmet sexual needs, and develop strategies for dealing with psychological distress. This is very important. Also, another way you can help yourself, natural remedy or treatment, is relationship counseling. Go for counseling. I always advocate for counseling. Whether you just want a place where to rant, whether you just want to talk, it's very important for you to go for counseling once or twice, or once in a while in your life. So relationship counseling, couples counseling can help partners talk about their values determine whether porn has a place in the relationship, and cultivate deeper trust, because some of these things, maybe if you're watching porn and maybe a certain lady looks so marvelous and then you start comparing with your spouse, you see, such thing can make your spouse feel very less and less of a person. They'll feel very not enough towards you, and that can, it can really cause a big relationship problem. But once you go for therapy, and once you guys have talked about it openly at the counseling center, you'll be able to know how to deal with that thing. If you both can put porn, in your sexual desires, and you agree with it, that's okay. But it's very important that you look at, how it's affecting you and your partner when it comes to pornography. Another thing is medication. Sometimes a person can use pornography to cope with another condition. Medication may help treat the underlying issue. For example, you have anxiety. And now for you to cope with anxiety, you watch pornography. Instead of you watching pornography to heal, and maybe if the case is really bad, you can get medication for anxiety. They are there. Even if it's depression, there are antidepressants out there that can help you deal with this medical condition. You don't have to watch pornography to help you with the underlying medical condition that you have. And then another thing, last but not least, is lifestyle changes. Some people use pornography out of the boredom or exhaustion. And an idle mind is the devil's workshop. So once you find yourself, being bored and you're like, okay, let me just watch porn, you're trying to kill the boredom. So a more healthy lifestyle may involve spending a few hours on the computer. Remember, nowadays in this society of ours, pornography is everywhere. You don't have to see maybe two people having sex for it to be pornography. It can also be through a music video. It can also be through the videos that you see in other social media platforms, whereby, I don't want to say the social media platform name, but you can find yourself watching those things. Because remember also, there are things like called a logarithm in the social media platforms. And with this is that whatever you consume, you'll still see more of those feeds. So if you get used to seeing naked women twerking on the social media platforms, you'll find yourself watching all that thing and you become hooked to pornography. So change your lifestyle, start watching maybe, things that can improve yourself. And the one thing I can say out of all this is that I've seen from most people out there, especially men who are trying to build other men out there, they really advocate for stop watching pornography. And I'll be among them also to say that stop watching pornography, because as you can see, all these issues can come up whenever you watch pornography, and you don't need a long time goal. The thing about pornography addiction is that you can have a short-term, positive experience, but in the long term, it will cause problems. You can't even be satisfied in sex. And remember, everyone wants to settle down one way or another, and you want to satisfy your partner. But imagine once you're not able to satisfy your partner, that can cause a lot of self-esteem issues, and it can kill you as a man. It can kill you as a man emotionally when you just hooked to seeing pornographic things. So it's important for you as a man, if you're experiencing any pornography addiction, stop right now. You don't have to cut off immediately, but step by step, try and improve yourself daily. Maybe you can start exercising, for example. You find yourself like you don't have anything to do this. Go to the gym, hit the gym. Or rather, if you can't afford a gym, do like 10 push-ups, for example, just for you to get you going. Okay, do something, try and learn a skill, and it will help you to change your lifestyle when it comes to pornographic addiction. And as you can see, there are also some treatments and natural remedies that you can do that I've talked about in this video that can help you deal with pornography. Okay, I'm your host, Myles Gicheru. That's what we are talking about today, and I hope I've helped a man out there when it comes to this. And also, if you're a woman who's addicted to pornography, this thing can still apply to you. This process can still help you to deal with pornography addiction. Thank you, and share this video to anyone that you think might help. And remember to like, subscribe, and share. I'm your host, Myles Gicheru. Thank you for joining us. Have a good evening. See you next time. Woof. Yeah.